Going into the Operation Christmas Child trip, I really didn't know what to expect. I didn't know that only 1% of the distributions are done by outside teams, and that the local churches are the ones who organize everything and make sure that children receive boxes, and not only receive boxes, but receive Jesus after they receive the box.
Having the opportunity to go on this mission trip with Operation Christmas Child really just opened my eyes and allowed me to see that this organization is doing so much to really invest in the lives of children.
The Greatest Journey program is an opportunity for the children who received boxes to come to know Jesus and accept Him as their own. On our trip, we were able to see a graduation of that Greatest Journey class, and those kids that were in the class ended up going and telling all their friends in the community, and that brought more kids in from the community to learn about Jesus and to receive boxes. One of my favorite moments on the trip was definitely our first distribution. After the distribution was over, we were going to get on the bus, and this child that had just received a box was yelling at me. He was so excited, and so I just turned around and he was running straight towards me. So I just stopped and I was staring at him, and then all of a sudden I realized he's going to give me a hug, and I was really excited for it. So I started going towards him too, and the joy on his face was not just a joy of receiving an item.
One of my favorite stories was about a young boy in Africa who received a shoebox from Operation Christmas Child, and in that box he received heavy-duty ski gloves. Now, for somebody who's in very hot weather, they don't necessarily need ski gloves. However, the awesome thing about this story was this young boy worked very closely with his family, and his job was to take really hot pots and to move them to another location. And he had sores all over his hands from doing this job. And so in receiving these ski gloves, he was able to use those as pot holders and to protect his hands. And I just thought that was a very great story to just show how the Lord provides.
One of the distributions that we were able to be a part of was in one of the poorest communities in Colombia, and it was definitely an eye-opening experience. There wasn't much there, but the joy of the Lord was there with these people. This church was actually a school, and people would come, they would walk up to an hour or more just to have church and just to get clean water.
Something that was truly amazing was towards the end of our trip, we found out that these national leaders are all volunteers pretty much, except for one or two, which is really mind-blowing because of the time and sacrifice they put in. All of them work full-time jobs, have families, but they are just so in love with the Lord, and their dedication to Him is truly just a testimony.
You are able to be a kingdom builder without even knowing it. And you may not ever be able to see the fruits of what was given, but knowing that big things are being done through the boxes makes everything worth it.
Yes, the shoebox is physical gifts, but when the child receives that, they also receive the opportunity to hear the message of Jesus Christ, which is such a wonderful thing to do by simply giving $7 or giving a few items in a shoebox. It's just a wonderful opportunity to truly make an impact in the world for the Lord.